Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Traders Corner, and in this video we're going to be doing a quick recap of my trades from this week. So let's head to the charts.
How you feeling?
Bro, it was great.
No,
It was great. It was better than I expected.
excellent. It was
Exactly
great.
better than I expected.
What's up, guys? So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome to the Traders Corner. We post tons and tons of Forex content. So yeah, like and subscribe for more great Forex content. So as you guys can see, we're on the Euro GBP chart on the 15 minutes. And this was my first trade for the week. So as you guys can see, we're in an overall downtrend, as you can see by the EMAs, the 800 EMAs all the way up here. TDI is in the sell zone, was in the sell zone for a majority of the previous day and all day today, which is great because that shows us our bias. That shows us that we're looking for sells. The 245 candle closed for a new low of day, which is great because we broke. First of all, we broke out of the Asian range, and secondly, we know that now we might be in a trending market where we might look where price could start to move. So yeah, once I saw that price closed for a new low of day and there was an RSI and trend line cross in the on the TDI, I looked to enter, but I was looking at another pair, so I was a little bit late on my entry. I was supposed to enter directly on this candle close, but I didn't. I kind of entered about halfway through this next candle. I entered at 87.039, which is about here. Yeah, which is right there. And I put my stop loss at the top of the previous candle, and I put my take profit at about 2R. So let's see what happened. Yeah, so this large candle hit my 2R, but what actually happened was I didn't close all of my trade. I closed about 75% of my trade, and then I moved my stop into profit. I moved my stop about here into profit just because, it's possible that price could have kept going and I could have made even more money. But, I wanted to lock in the 75% of the trade that I, made money on. I didn't want to play with my money, so I took some of it out. And, I was kind of hoping that it would push lower so that I could make more money. However, price immediately turned around and then stopped me right out. So overall, I'd say this was a pretty good trade. I followed my rules. The only thing that could have made this better was no divergence, because there was a slight divergence on between the TDI and price action. So if you look, here, RSI on top is rising while price action is falling, which usually means that price usually follows the direction of the TDI, of the RSI. So having this divergence kind of usually means that price was going to turn around to the upside, but I was still confident in this overall setup, so I still took it. And I was aware of that. I was aware of this slight divergence going into it, and accordingly I sized down. I didn't hit this trade with like 2% of my account or anything. I hit it. It was an overall B setup, so I hit it with 1%, and it ended up working out. So yeah, on to the next trade. So guys, we are on the USD yen chart on the 1 minute, and this is my second trade of the week. So we are overall in a downtrend. The EMAs are in the correct order for a downtrend. Price is on the right side for it to be a downtrend. The TDI was in the sell zone, but it has been fickle over this past the whole day, really. As you guys can see, it's been up and down and up and down and up and down. It is now in the sell zone, so this is when I looked to enter the market. So price was falling, retraced to the 200 EMA, pushed off with a nice 3-candle formation. Yeah, pushed off, ended up lower. This would have been my ideal entry on this candle close, but again, I was looking at another pair, so I was a little bit late to this. I was about 2 minutes late, and I entered there at 107.74. Yeah, perfect. I entered right here, and I placed my stop at the open of this candle in that candle in the 3-candle formation, and my target was again 2R. So as you can see, price fell, hit my target again, and just like the last one, I didn't close the whole trade. I took out 75% of my trade, and then I moved my stop just behind this brief pause and pullback, just so that I would, see if I can maximize my profits, which it did. Price moved lower, and then once I saw this little pullback again, I moved my stop behind that one as well. And then I was stopped out here. So yeah, not too much to say about this one. This one was, I'd say, more of a B+ setup, just because TDI was so fickle. The market sentiment was in and out of the buy and sell zone all day. But overall, everything else, the EMAs were fine. Price action, there was no divergence, anything like that. So yeah, on to the next one. So we're on the Euro CAD on the 15 minutes. We're not in a full uptrend just because the 800 EMA is above the other EMAs, but TDI was in the buy zone for a good amount of yesterday and all day today so far. So we're long biased. The EMAs, the 21 and the 8 EMA are crossing, and you can't see it, but they just, behind this candle, you can see they just crossed back right there, and it shifted up. So this would have been my ideal entry, but I again was late, and I got in at 152.66. 152.60. Yeah, about right there. And I placed my stop at the open of the shift candle, and my target at the 800 EMA. And as you guys can see, there was the RSI and trendline cross. But oh yeah, also there was a bit of divergence on this pair, on this in this setup, with price action rising and RSI falling, which, as I said before, usually means that price could turn to the downside, especially since we weren't in a full uptrend, because the EMAs are telling us that we're not in a full uptrend. The 800 EMA is above these other ones. So, this was my take profit level, just because I figured it would go up here, bounce up, hold the 800 EMA as it did over here before. Hold the 800 EMA and then turn around because we do have this divergence. So that's why I set that as my take profit and my target. I mean, as my take profit, and then my stop is the open of the my entry candle. So yeah, let's see how this played out. And I was immediately stopped out because my stop loss was apparently too tight. But you know, those are my rules, and I followed my rules, so I couldn't get upset about it, especially based off of what happened next. You know, we actually, if my stop was just wider, you know, I would have been able to make about 19, 20 pips on this trade. But you know, I followed my rules, and I can't be mad at missing the opportunity to make these pips just because I followed my process, and that's the most important part. That's the most important thing. And yeah, so if I was actually like paying attention for a re-entry, I would have noticed that this right here is a nice 2 candle formation off of the 50 EMA right here. Yeah, this is a nice a nice 2 candle formation off the 50 EMA, which would mean I didn't take this trade. I got stopped out here, and I lost. I got stopped out about 7 pips. But had I been on my toes and looking for a re-entry right after I got stopped out, I would have noticed that this would have been a good area to enter from. And then this would have been my stop. Aiming for 2R. And as you guys can see, there is space on ADR. ADR is 123. We've currently moved 47. So yeah, there's tons of space on ADR. So yeah, if price ended up breaking the 800 EMA, it could move much higher. So let's actually see what happened. Moved up, fell, tested the 80 EMA, and falls again, tests the 21 EMA. And look, so yeah, we broke our 2R, and price even pushed higher. So, that kind of just illustrates to me the importance of not letting a loss deter you from re-entering. And it's not that I was deterred just because I lost. I was kind of like, oh, I lost. So I wasn't even upset about the loss. I kind of just moved on to another, like looking for another opportunity on another pair. But like this example right here just goes to show you that, after getting stopped out, you could still be right. So don't immediately discount this pair as I did. I could have made, 60 pips, even almost 100 pips, 100 pips. I could have made 100 pips on this move. However, I missed it. But you live and you learn, and hopefully I catch the next one. So we are on the GBP CAD chart on the 15 minutes for my last trade of the week. So as you guys can see, we're in an uptrend, and price was, the 800 EMA is all the way down there. Price is in the buy zone. TDI has been in the buy zone for all day today and a good amount of the day yesterday. RSI was overbought around here, but as you guys can see, price continued to move higher before it even started to retrace, and then it didn't even end up touching the 50, moved higher again, we came back down, and now it's holding the 50, and there is a 8 EMA and a 21 EMA cross, and then there's this shift candle right there. Yeah, you can see this candle shifts upwards. So this would have been a good entry. However, we were still within the Asian range, as you guys can see. Yeah, this was the Asian range, so we were still within it. So I kind of wanted to wait until we broke for a new high of day. That way, that would confirm to me that we're out of the Asian range, and then price could move higher. So yeah, there's space on ADR again. Oh, I didn't even see how many pips that was. That was, yeah, what, 33 pips. ADR is 161. So yeah, now this nice shift candle, trying to wait for a new high of day, which I got a new high of day right here. So I entered on that candle close, placed my stop at the open of the shift candle, and was once again aiming for 2R. And before I even show you guys what happened, we were also forming a bit of a wedge formation, a wedge pattern. Where we were making lower highs and higher lows, which can sometimes mean that after this happens, we're going to break to the upside, especially since TDI has been in the buy zone for this long and we are in an uptrend. So yeah, this was all confirmation to me that we were going to move to the upside. And so I gave this an A overall. I graded this as an A overall setup. And yeah, so once we broke for a new high of day, I entered, and let's see what happened. Yeah, so price immediately went the other direction and stopped me out. And the only reason I could think of for that being the case, for why price really just turned around and stopped me out, is because price was overbought over here, and you can see that RSI and the trend line have been steadily falling since then. So yeah, I did grade this as an A overall setup while I took it, but that was definitely just an oversight in not factoring in the fact that this was overbought relatively recently. So yeah, that's just proves to me that I need to, refine my process and, just do better with my analysis. But yeah, that's been my week. That's been this past week for me trading wise, and hope to see you guys next week. So thank you.